All right, we're going to finish up this 68 Pro Reverb. Couple things before we get started. I've got a little bit of egg on my face. I was taken in by the black panel, and after I said that this is most likely an original black panel, even though it's a 68, one of the viewers pointed out that it says Fender Electric Instruments on the front, and it says the proper, I can't remember what the other one is, on the back. The one on the back matches 68. This is a replacement panel. I was thrown off partially because the original baffle did not have a drip edge. The tube chart on this cabinet is missing its date code. So it's possible it's an earlier cabinet or someone swapped baffles. Either way, there's no difference in the circuit between a 67 and a 68. This is, for all intents and purposes, a black panel amp. And it sounds pretty good. A couple of things about this to note. Number one, the pot tapers on the treble and bass are not exactly where they should be. And so it's a little bit dark overall. With everything at noon. And there's that little bit of noise sometimes as I move the volume. That's the old RCA tube in V2. This amp came in without a tube in V1. The owner's got preamp tubes. So first of all, I'm going to set the treble and bass to where it's a bit more like you would expect noon to be. So just under 7 and just under 5. That's no big deal. The other thing is the reverb is on 6, and it sounds about like it would if it were just over 3 on most. The tank in there is an old 3-spring Accutronics. It had been painted. It was really noisy. The owner did not want to replace it. He doesn't use the reverb a lot, so I was able to clean up the connections and get it so it's usable, but it is weaker than many, and that's the tank, because I have swapped out tanks. Last, before I get on to the things which are actually cool, there is a hiss and hum, which is due to the volume pot on the vibrato channel, and the owner did not want me to change that out. And this is one of those situations where I wish that I could, but the owner does not want it changed. And the symptom that it has, and the fix for it, the way I know it's the volume pot, is I can ground out the wiper, connect the wiper to ground, and the amp goes silent. If I ground out the input of that pot, that same noise is always present, even though no signal is present. And on other Fenders from the same era, if I ground out the input of that pot, the signal goes quiet. The hum and buzz is not there. Pots wear out. It is just a variable 1 meg resistor. If I told someone, hey, you've got a 1 meg resistor that's gone noisy and needs to be changed, no one would think twice. I say, hey, we need to change out the original volume pot. People will get all antsy about it. So it's going out with the original volume pot, which has this background noise. And, this is not my amp, so I can't make that call. In fun stuff, it's got 2 WGS Veteran 30s, each of which is 8 ohms, each of which is 60 watts. And one of the reasons we chose this speaker for this amp is that the Schumacher output transformer in the Pro Reverb can handle a mismatch. So when both speakers are connected, it's 4 ohms, handles 120 watts. I wired it so that 3 of the connections are soldered with a high quality quick connect on the positive on the left speaker, the left looking from the front, the right looking from the rear. And right now I have that disconnected. So we have the amp at 8 ohms with just a speaker which is mic'd. Which gives a little bit less output compared to having both speakers, both because the surface area of the speakers is halved. And because of the impedance mismatch, the output is not running as efficiently. So you get a little bit earlier breakup this way too. Now, you can't automatically do this kind of mismatch with every transformer, every amplifier. You have to know that the transformer can handle it. You have to know that everything else in the circuit is healthy. So I'm going to reconnect the left speaker now, and let's listen to the differences, even though the same speaker is mic'd throughout. Okay, I could hear the noise level increase as the entire output of the amp increased. Hopefully you'll hear that in addition to getting louder, it got cleaner. The amp got more headroom as the output impedance matches what the tubes are really set for. So that's a very nice balanced sound. Let's engage the bright switch a little bit. And I turn the treble down a little bit to compensate. So you can get a lot of different sounds out of this. I've got the volume just over 3. Right now, the treble is back up just over 7. Bass is just below 5. I'm turning the reverb down to just above 5. Forgot where I was because I changed tunings. And that right there is why that little bit of hiss is aggravating. Some of it's signal from the guitar in the room. It's a noisy room even with noiseless pickups. But sounding good with strats. Let's try something else too. All right, let's go to this Les Paul. I've got the volume just under 3, which should be about the same as the strats. Got the treble 5, bright cap on, which should help with this neck pickup. Bass just under 5, and reverb just over 5. Sorry, I didn't know there was going to be a quiz. I think the amp's sounding really good now. I think the owner's going to be very happy with it. Hopefully he'll roll through some preamp tubes, find a few that are a little quieter than this, and maybe he'll come back and say, yeah, you're right, change out that volume pot, and we'll get out the last of that background noise. But compared to the show it was when it came in, this thing sounds great.